is leftover paint I had from a couple of days ago, and I wait for it to dry. I believe in my last video I told you that when it totally dries, it will be, it will straighten itself out with no curves or anything, and that's exactly what has happened. This is double layered watercolor paper, 300-pound weight watercolor paper. I just glued it, 2 sheets together. So. All right. I'll keep pretty much with the theme of the background. Keep it kind of reddish. All right. These will be the Chippendale type roses. All right. As you can see by the glistening there, they put extra glycerin on it, so just start to fill out some things here. The initial color and shading. We'll start with that first. I'll be painting through the other 2 roses on some of these. These aren't really too bad to paint. Once you get accustomed to how sorry about that, and now I gotta say everything I said all over again. This is 11 by 15 inch watercolor paper, double. I put 2 sheets together, glued them together. I had to wait till it totally dries so it comes back to being stiff and not curved and everything. I already put glycerin on it, which is why you see it shine on this side. That's where the light is shining on the board. Okay, my bad on the microphone situation. I gotta remember to switch the audio, and I don't. So that was my bad on that. All right. And for the highlights with anything red, you use orange or yellow, which is what I'm using right now. And keeping with its roundish shape. The color where I'm going to have a little bit of shadow. I'll gently fade some of that in there. Particularly where it's going to be, where I know it's going to be kind of dark. Right now I'm just laying it all out. Yeah, I kind of figured it was one of the, once again, my bad on that. I'm using a very soft brush to softly blend these colors, still keeping the roundness. And then we'll go into other detail. I think I got the camera situated in the way my head won't cover everything. It kind of looks like an apple, right? It's the same premise when it comes to shading. Same premise. But I'm going to try to get all that shading and all that good stuff in there before we go into the fine details. And I'm mixing black and red together. I'm just going to get a very deep red. So black is actually a good blending color. I never really talk about it much. And obviously it's going to be the the inside of the rose in there. Okay. And I'll probably fade some of that out. Make it a little surreal. So I'll take some of that and go on the outside here. Pour some of that out there a little bit. Surround some of this. And that's what the glycerin does. It helps you blend all of that. You can obscure some of these edges there, fade them out. All right, we'll continue right along here. Let's pop in some of these leaves. I'm gonna get a little bit of black, a little touch of green here. I know I never really talked about using black as a color to fade in things, but you can, or using it as a color to blend and fade, but you most certainly can. And here's that regular green, and just tap in between the two very softly, and you're just really just marrying the two together. If you feel it's not dark enough, you always go back in with your dark, your black, and make it a little stronger, especially where it's being covered by the bottom of the rose a little bit. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys can see that pretty well. I can't because it's obscured by my giant radio. But it's all good. It's all right. And just kind of tap it and blend it. All right. I'm still looking at it here. Let's go in with a little bit of green and touch of yellow and a little touch of white there, brighten it up a little. Now I do have glycerin on the board, so that actually helps a little. Fade it around a little bit. Wherever you choose your light source to be, really. Actually, I really didn't want it there. I pretty much wanted it on the other side. But we'll tighten that up. I know what to do with that. So that was kind of my bad. But it can always be corrected. So if you make an error like I just did, you can easily correct it. It's all right. I wanted the brightness to be more or less on the left hand side, so that was kind of my bad. I can go into a little bit of red and green here and mix that together, and I'll return that other edge a little darker. So we'll darken this again. You could probably be a little darker too, add a little more contrast to it. I can also soften this up a little bit, blend that out, bring some of that green back. Very soft like. Wipe off your brush. Don't ask me, I don't know what fell. Sometimes it really depends if you want to add the glycerin in there or not. Like some of this can be faded, can be a little softer, and it's just me tapping it in there. I want the transition to be a little softer than what I have. All right. Hello, Maria. Sonia. All right. We'll use this still. I'll get a little bit of white. A little bit of light green there. I do tend to pull the brush in my direction where I'm seated. Get a nice thin line going there. Still looking at it, still checking it out in spots there. Make sure I pretty much got some of that shading okay. It can do to be a little darker on the rose itself, so I'm just gonna add a touch more black, get a little bit of red, mix it in there. Some of the glycerin is starting to dry off a little bit, so I'll add just a little bit of glycerin. I don't want it pitch black here, but I do want it a little bit darker up in here, and I'll just fade it. It just fade right into the brighter color, fade back here. Take my brush and gently go in that circular direction. You gotta maintain the shape of this Chippendale rose. Okay, so the light's kind of hitting off both edges because of that little bright smear there. All right. Okay. So as I'm looking at it, checking it out, I think we're ready to go to the next step with it. Usually if you get all the tones and all that straight on it, everything else becomes a little easier to manage. A little easier to handle. Go with a little orange. Touch of white. Small, and I mean a small dab of red in there. Usually I would mix this and then clean the brush and because all I need is the edge. And then I will come out here and just create. It's really all in the edges for the Chippendale. And we'll kind of bring it in there like that. it not, you just got your petaled edge already. And you fade that into the darkness there. Just like so. You see how easy that is to give that impression? All right. And you're really, really just doing literally the edge. Okay. Let's go here for a second. Kind of tap that edge right up in here. And it kind of goes around like that. Keeping that roundness. And the key to it is keeping that roundness to it. These petals are rounded and cupped and turned. All right. And I'm really emphasizing the yellow, in the orange and the white rather. Not think of something else. Keep saying yellow. And the edge. That edge is gonna be kind of put that there. Make the edge a little strong there. And it's really the edge that's gonna sell that. Okay. The inside is darker, but we're not necessarily meaning black when we say darker. It's just your hues will be different. Curve right around in there. Still keeping with its circular, even though it's a darker color. Keeping with the inside petals in there, even though you can barely see it in there. All right, but it's being pretty much being cut pretty good in there. All right, and believe it or not, that guy is almost just about done. Believe it or not, it will all come together once I put more and more of these guys together. I'm scheduled for 2 of the Chippendale, and one the basic one that you usually see me do. But I'm gonna add a little bit more to this than I usually would do with one of these. Okay, even though I drew this first, you know when I draw the other one, this one's gonna be partially covered. All right, let's get a script liner here for a minute. Let's go back into our green here and our white. Brighten it up a little bit. I don't use glycerin when I go into fine details with a script liner. The water and the paint will do fine by itself. All right. We'll add our. As you see, these leaves are a little different than the ones you normally see me use. Okay. Different variety of leaf here. I don't do these too often. Usually, if I tend to do something that is a little easy for me, more or less, I tend to stray away from it for a while. And I shouldn't, but I do. Probably because I feel like sometimes it's no challenge or whatever. But I should really return to these. I almost made a little clownish error there. I caught myself. Little touch of red in that. Get a little bit of water. With the Chippendale, you can also do this because mainly, besides the shading, it's really, once again, it's really the edges that defines this type of rose. So we kind of accentuate the edges a little bit. Just like that. Okay, and that's what really helps you, help sell this thing. Not too much on the insides. Maybe a couple of bits on the paddle tips or whatever. And it's just to help, once again, to kind of sell the roundness of it. Okay. Okay. Let's go towards the other fella. And it's going to be pretty much the same thing. It will be rounded. We're going to go with we'll approach it differently. We'll go with the inside first. So I'm going to get some black, get some red. And I'm using the red and black just to deepen the red. That's about all. Okay. I don't have to add too much glycerin to it. But right up in here. And mainly just block it in, like you see me doing here. It's an oval shape. All right. Much like that. I'll just take some regular red. Get a touch of glycerin. Small bit. We still got a little bit of glycerin on the paper itself. But right around in here, we'll start it right around in here. And once again, it's like you're painting like an apple or something. Right up around, right over this guy. Paint right over it. Like that. Paint red over him. Let's get that roundness down here on the bottom a little bit. Just like that. Now, we'll get a little black here. We'll put it right in here. Emphasize that deep. Oh, we'll put that darkness right around in. We'll play around with it right in here. We'll keep the same thing going right up in here. Darker underneath. Once again, you're playing with shading. Now, it's hard for you to see it because of the glare that's hitting because of the light. All right, that I understand. So I'm pretty much gonna have to describe it to you. I'm getting the dark a little stronger here. It's a little closer, obviously, this flower. So I'm just mixing the red with that black. Go back, I'm gonna go underneath, really emphasize it being darker underneath. And the key to it really is to keep it rounded, keep it smooth. Okay, you can do it with the same brush, the same brush. But I like to use the little Mr. Softy brush. And once again, it's keeping with the roundness. And it's gonna look like a tomato. At least start to look like one anyway. Okay. I'm gonna go into a little bit of orange and white. I use the white to kind of pump up the orange. The orange is semi-transparent, so you need something to kind of bring that out. The smallest touch of red. Red's extremely powerful color. Be careful. I just need a dot of red for this. All right. Okay. And we'll put it to where I want it to shine most likely the brightest, which would probably be up in here. And we're gonna get that curve and everything going, but right now I just wanna focus on where I want it the brightest, which will be up around in here. All right. Very loose with it. The paint is still wet, so you can blend it to whatever degree you want. Hello, Jessica, how are you? Okay, so I'll start with where it's dark at here and gently with that roundness, just nicely blend it in there. And I'll just smooth it out and blend it. I'm kind of straying away from the brightest part. Just like that, and just keep it rounded and blend it. Just like that. And you pretty much see where the light source is coming from. Okay. I'll take, let's see if I got a little bit left. I got a little bit left. I'm scraping inward, going towards putting the paint on the edge. All right. Then I'll come here, right on this edge is where I really want it, that brightness. Kind of bring it in there like so. And I really want it basically on the edge. And then I'll destroy the bottom edge. Keep with the shape of this guy. The petal. And you just keep rounding it off. Keep using the strokes. It blends more and more you do it. And it adds to the hue of your color you previously laid down. And you just blend it right in to where it just disappears. All right, you got that nice little fine edge there. All right, I'm gonna use Mr. Softy again, kind of softly blend some of this stuff. As you can see, not the most difficult style of doing a rose. Preferably, you really should use get used to using the corner of the flat brush. But for the sake of time, you can do it this way also. I'm gonna just get some of this brighter. I'll use the script liner, and it's more for the sake of time than anything else. All right, I'll just come here and add that beautiful little edge, just like that. Come on around. Nice little thin edge there, like that. And you can take the same concept, come on around here, and add an edge going that way. All right, Now, like I say, it's tough for you guys to see this because I know the glare of the glare is kind of killing it on you. I'm gonna take a little bit of this orange, what I got left here. Don't need too much because we're approaching the shadow side of this guy. Right up around in here. And remember, keep with the. I know this looks like I'm just slapping the paint red on there. Let's clean off this script liner real quick here, because you really don't want paint caked on your script liner. You just wreck it. And go with the roundness. So you can fade this to whatever degree you would like. And that's basically what you're doing. It's really blending, especially when the paint is still wet. This is a little darker on that side. All right, you're still going to get an edge. You can highlight your edge right up around here, and you don't necessarily have to make the edges super crisp. You can kind of curl them a little bit, like so. All right. Once you guys see the finished painting, you'll understand. But with Chippendales, they pretty much look like that. You're really highlighting the edge that gives you that shape. You get all your tones and blends in there doing this thing. Really not the most difficult of roses to do. The better you are at blending, the better they'll turn out and they'll look. That's for fact. I'm gonna use a sharper edged 1/2 inch brush, not many hairs, but it keeps a very, very sharp edge to it. All right. All right. Yeah, I had to readjust the camera. I almost knocked it off. You only see one half of my face, really, unless I turn on the other light. Now you can see the other half of my face. See what happens? See? All right. Yeah, I still got my cough. And yes, it still bothers me that I do have my cough. It only happens when I know I have to talk a lot. It disturbs me. I don't like it. It irritates me, but it is what it is. I'm just taking the darker red and I'm gonna create an edge for the inside petals here. Okay. Which isn't the most difficult thing to do, because I'll just create the edge, right? But I'll brush off the remaining bits. Okay. And if I choose to highlight a few, I'll highlight them. And what I'm doing here basically is just giving the impression of some folded petals in the inside. Okay. Once again, I don't do too many of these because they're relatively simple to do. Not bad. I'm gonna take a little red and white, which I don't normally do because it turns kind of pink. So, kind of a gentle dance between the two. And it's just slight highlights in the inside. And you're basically painting those petal shapes in the inside there. Now, if I paint them kind of thick, like I'm doing right now, I can get rid of that edge. I just want a very thin edge so I can make the thicker edges just disappear with a little bit of water. Because all I want really is a really thin edge. I can make the inside blend it into the other color. I don't want it too thick there. And I got to be careful on my hand placement because I know certain parts of this painting still a little wet. All right. If I end up painting over a spot, I can always return it. Just like that. Alright. Now that I've put in my tones, I gotta have more contrast. Add more contrast by just a little bit of black on the bottom. Actually, a little black and a little touch of red, maybe. You gotta have contrast. It's dark down in here. I can fade it and still keep a circular feel to it here. Okay. I can still take my brush and softly blend that. Marry the two edges together. I still want it a little darker, so I'm gonna add just a little bit of just pure black, particularly in here where the leaf is. Okay, I'm gonna come around out here. There's the leaf here too. I'll kind of shade that a little bit more. There's one leaf underneath the other. I'll wipe off my brush and I'll blend some of that black right into the bottom of the rose there. Same thing here, and still keep that curvature. Very important to keep the curve like that. This I'm not too worried about this because this is going to be blended in with the with the green. All right, I'll just use this natural green today right now, and I'll block that in. I'm using Scotch tape because it keeps a nice strong border, and you'll see in a second. I'll use Mr. Softy brush once more, and I'll just kind of pat that black and that green into each other. They just melt into each other there. I just want that blend to happen with them both. Up to you which petal you want on top of the other. That's up to you once you get into doing that, shaping the leaves, which is what we're going to do right now. I'll use this same brush, the sharper edged brush. A little touch of white there. We'll kind of brighten that up a little bit. Pull it towards me to maintain that sharp edge. All right, I should technically use a little glycerin here. I really should. I think I will. And it'll just loosen this paint up a bit. I can blend a little bit better with it. Okay, and here we go. Blend it right in there. Do a little bit on the other side for the other one. All right. This brush is fairly decent, so I can put a quick little edge in there like that. I'm only using the corner. You just have to get used to doing this and knowing what angle to do it. It's just practice, really. Okay. And make sure you totally clean the brush. Trust me, to save you a lot of heartache. We'll go with the black and green, the two color opposites. I mean, the green and red, excuse me. And we'll pop in some darkness in there on that side. Some little contrast there. This, I can just kind of take some water and we can blend that right into the background there, like that. You know, you can obscure some of this edges here. It's just me rubbing color right into the background. It's all right. You can do this. It's just me taking the water and just blending some of this out. All right. It's all right. You can do that. It's okay. Well, Jessica, if you're about to fall asleep, go take a nap. Okay, so we got those two, and it looks like it's blending. It's like fading out of the initial painting. Okay, so it's like they're fading away. All right, we got this individual up here. We'll handle. This one's more traditional. All right. Now, I did sketch it in white pencil, but the glycerin took some of that away, but that's all right. I'll handle it the usual way I handle this type. All right, let's get more of a color that I don't have now. I use most of it up, and that's all right too. So we get some more CAD here. You should be able to see that. When you see me look up, I got a 40-inch monitor screen I'm looking at. So if I'm not looking at you with this camera, which I have to shift because I don't see half of my face. Red flowers. Of all the colors, red flowers are a little, when it comes to shading and blending, red is a little different. With red, you use yellow, you use orange, variations of those. You put the white into those colors to get the shading and have it still maintain it being red. All right, okay. All right, let's move on here. I kind of know what I was looking for with it because most of the business of the flower is off panel, so you're seeing the other half with the two folds there. All right, so we'll go back into our black. Let's dip into our red here. So we'll start with the inside contrast. A little red, a little bit of black in that red. I don't think I'll add any glycerin. I'll just put it in like this. And we'll pop that right in there like so. Like I said, I kind of know the shape of this guy already, so all this can be colored in. That's all right. Like that. This fella underneath. Let's get that a little darker. I need to show a little more depth to it. Even though I'm mixing black all in this red, it obviously will never truly be black. I gotta look at where I'm at here. Keeping with the roundness of the flower here. And it still goes around. Smooth that out a little bit. I can reshape that, that's all right. Take some natural red here. I didn't clean off the brush. All right, we're gonna come this way. We'll flash it out this way. Like I said, I kind of know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm what I want, so we'll do it this way. Because I know the shape of this guy right here. These are the two that will come and meet us. They overlap each other. Keep his roundness down there. And you'll see in a second what I'm talking about. That V should give a clue. All right. Take a little stripe of black and we'll put it up under here somewhere like that, and we'll bring it outward. Like that. Once again, we're just creating depth. Once again, I kind of know what it looks like, what it's going to look like. So now you can see where the top, this is the top part for the two petals that meet together. Right underneath that little darkness there, and then the outside petals will be shaped and formed here. All right, and then the leaves beyond that. All right, okay. So this is a long bristled half inch. All right, not really the best to use for one of these, but usually if you can get your a brush of half of that, cut it, and it's a little more controllable, a little more manageable. All right, okay. Well, before I move on with that, let's just take a little bit of orange, a little touch of white. We'll throw in some highlights over here and blend those in. Right up around in here like this, and we'll kind of give a partial one right up here, maybe more toward the top up here, and then we'll fade it away. Now I know that looks a little nuts, but remember the paint's still wet. You can still blend that. All right, now you can tap and blend like this, and it's a very soft blend, see? And you can do the whole thing that way if you want. Okay, up to you. And then you just kind of, see that? The same thing here, you can tap and blend, or you can kind of rub that all in there. Okay, just like that. So it's giving you all sorts of interesting things going around there. You know where the light source is. All right. Okay, let's just take regular CAD red right out the tube here. Pull it toward me here. And we're just going to do the shape of the leaves, or the petals rather. I can see the outline of them. And we press, pull, all right? You press, pull, and you release. Just like so. All right. I don't know how good this microphone's picking up, but yes, we do have thunder and lightning today. It's been raining like this pretty much all day. We're doing the second set. A lot of this will be seen during the highlights. Let's have it hook and curve this way, and then we'll have it kind of come out like that. All right. So it looks like all one, but we'll get that straight in a second. Don't worry. I have one kind of come this way, and then we'll kind of bend it this way, like that. Something like that. We got another set right here. We'll take it and go, we'll have it curved this way. So we got a second set of petals here. Like that, okay? that. And we'll curve the other set right around this way. Get some more red. I'm just blocking in the petal shape. I used to draw them and then do it, but I've been doing this for a minute, so I just, pop them in there. And you'll do the same thing yourself. You'll be popping them in there. Your mind's eye will see what you're doing. All right. So what I'm hitting at here. We'll give him more of a curve, have him come in there. All right. Yep, we're good with that. All right. Now I'll highlight with, now if you turn it up, if you put white in with the red, it's gonna turn carnation color. So, and that's not really what I'm looking for. All right, I'll use the sharper edged half-inch brush for these. I'm gonna go into my orange here. Now it's 6:22. It's not usually super dark at night, or it's not nighttime at 6:22 in the summertime. But if you look outside, if I turn the camera outside, you will see that it's looks more like 8:30. It's pretty dark out there. Okay, this is a good mix. This would be fine. It's got red in it, but I'm gonna pull it towards me so we maintain a kind of a sharp edge. Technically, I would use a little glycerin if I was smart here. Loosen up the paint, it helps it flow and blend better. Once again, I'll pull it towards me. All right, and we'll start here. I'll give it a push out and let's pop in. I'll make it crooked, push out, and pop in, and I'll bring it back in, pop in. See that little rim of paint there? That helps sell this thing. Matter of fact, I'll just kind of put one there. Let's do another one. We'll make another petal. We'll have it come out here this far and just kind of curve in like this. And we'll have them come right around. See, I can shape these guys any way I want. See? Okay. All right. Let's do another one. A petal at a time, guys. A petal at a time. Like this. We'll do another one here. Have it come out. And we'll curve this one in too. We'll just kind of have it curve around like that. All right. If I don't want the little striations, I'll just make those disappear like that. All right. You don't have to have the striations in there. You just paint them out in between them like that. If you don't want them there. All right. This one here, we'll just kind of use the paint what's left, and I won't have a edge of paint there. I'll just kind of do it like that. So it appears, since it doesn't have that rim, that edge of color, it's going to appear to be behind the other fellows. All right. Get some more orange. Remember, orange is semi-transparent. All right. Put it towards me here. Hello, Kelly. How are you? All right. Since we got something hidden here, I can just take this brighter color and just create an edge and go in and create an edge. Now that will bring this petal that I'm painting now in front of that petal. All right. Just like that. And I don't have to add a little bubble there or the little edge of paint. I can just kind of go around like that. All right. All right. And if I don't want the striations, I just paint them out. And I don't want them, so I'll paint them out like that. All right. Okay. Now, these are the lower petals. The ones on top, we can add a little bit of, we can beef them up a little bit. So I'll add a little bit more white and orange there. Just like this. pull it towards me. Yes, Kelly, that's exactly what I did. I just used the background from the other day. You're right. Yep. Waste not, want not. So. Just like that. And we'll curve him in like this. Just like that. And we'll start another set right here. A little push if I want. A little push. It just brings these petals out a little bit more. Just like that. And I'll take this one, I'll just curve it. Boom, like that. Then I'll come out here. Do it again. Right on top of the other petal. It brings it out. The lighter petal will stick out a little bit more. Like that. Excuse me. Let's create one there. Let's go on inside there like that. Have it come on top of the other petals there, like that. Alright. Alright, let's add some more to the festivities here. Let's have a fold. Let's have it come this way. We'll have it kind of go this way like this. Watch what I'm going to do here. I'll lighten it up. He's brighter. Lighten it up right here. Okay. Let's get a little more white. Put it into the orange. I'll show you what I'm going to do here. We're going to create a little push there. All right, now you see this little line of color right there. We're going to go with our red, with what I got left of red. This is going to be the bottom petal, the bottom of the fold. A little darker. We're going to come from, we'll come from right here, and we'll just curve and go in. Curve, go in, and we'll get closer and closer and closer to this guy right in here. Closer and closer and closer. Get smaller and smaller. And we'll curve it in like that. Give him a little edge there. We'll curve that guy right in there. All right. But we're going to give him an edge. I'll get a little bit of red and a little bit of white. And we're just gonna give him a little bit of an edge here. A bit more white and that red. Gotta make it stand out a little bit more. It's kind of weird because I'm on the shiny side of this, so, and basically it's just me doing one of those numbers there. Let's get a little bit of green here. Actually, I'll just cheat and use a touch of black. And in between, I have to kind of rubberneck myself here so I can darken this in just a little bit. Still need a little contrast in there, and then pull it out. There we go. All right. Okay. All right. So we got a little crease fold in there. Let's get to these two here. Don't have too much red left, but I'll use what I can with what I got here. A little orange, a little red, a little touch of white. And we add the striations. Let's do this one first. We're gonna come here, right here, and I'm gonna curve. Let me get the glycerin. That's not gonna come out right until I use the glycerin here. you paint red through. Give it a little push, because it's got its own horizon or vanishing point, which is down here somewhere. Yep, the thunder's really rolling there. I can hear it. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's rumbling out there pretty good. Just like that, you paint red through it. This one's gonna come over this. All right. It's a little bit brighter, so on that side of the page. So I'm just using some orange and some white. There's red on here already. I'm just incorporating it into this. All right. A little push, and you come through. Push, come through, push. This guy is on top, and we're gonna paint red over the other one, just like that. And you give it a curve. You curve it. See? Curve it right through. Just like that. Now you see the folds here. They blossom out right underneath that darkness. Okay. Then you got this guy here coming through. All right. Very simple to do. I don't have too much red left. I can see that, but that's all right. I'll take advantage of what I got. We're gonna come here, give it a little push, and come on in. A little push, come on in there. Push, come on in. Push, bring it in there. Push. Right on that edge. Push it on in there. Go back to my orange and white for one split second. Hopefully I have enough. I don't. I'll just add some more white to it. Here we will return that edge. You still gotta have a little separation there. Okay. Like that. All right. Not very difficult for that one, really. It's a lot of repetitiveness on that. It's incredibly dark outside. It's crazy looking. Okay, let's put our leaves in, and then that will be it. We'll go with we'll bring the green over here. I don't know if you guys can see this in the bottom here. It's getting a little dark. We'll lighten it up a little bit there. So I'm just using a little bit of black, a little bit of green, some glycerin here. All right. We'll just kind of paint this dark black and green right on this edge there. We'll just bring it out here like this. And this will be repetitive. I'm gonna get some more green, a little bit of black. We got a few of these to do. I just want some of that dark green. So I'm using black just as a blending color. Blending it into the green just to change the hue, make it darker. So just because you add black don't mean that the green's gonna turn black. It will not. That it will not do. You think it will, but it won't. It just turns a dark green. Pretty much what you're seeing right now. And I always work with odd numbers. So here's our 3, or 5, or 7, or 9. Okay. As a matter of fact, Let's pop a little something. There was actually one here. So we'll just pop him in like this. I didn't really schedule for one to be over there, but we're gonna put one over there anyway. Something like that. Well, just kind of pop him in there like this. And I'll just kind of fade him around. I'll fade it outward like that. Play around with him like this. Put him right into the... Alright. Okay. Alright. Let's add a little white now. Careful with your white, with that black mixed in, because it will turn to kind of a greenish gray. Okay. I'm going to get a little bit of glycerin here. And pull this toward me. Keep a nice sharp edge. We'll go more to the traditional with this one, like that. Yeah, I gotta fight with the glare myself. Fade that out there, let it play around. We'll have a little fun with this one. And let it kind of swim around there. Alright. We'll come back to these guys and kind of brighten it up a little bit here. Looks like that. I don't have to add too much to it, just maybe a little touch. Just like that. Maybe a little bit of one here. Just a little bit. Have it curve around a little bit. Alright. Let's go straight green with the other half. If I got enough green there. Let's get some glycerin here. Loosen that up. Oh, we'll just do this way. I work in reverse. I'll work in reverse with this one too. Same thing, essentially I'm just doing it the other way around. Just going in reverse. It's like so. Alright. Where am I at here? All this glare, it is kind of tough for me to see it sometimes. It's like that. Now, I might make this look simple, but you have to understand I've been doing it a lot longer. I've been practicing more than you have, so. Okay. I think we're okay. If you don't have glycerin, you can use water. Kind of a different approach with it, but you can use water. Not enough green there. Let's try that. That's cool. Got a little bit of orange in it. That's cool. No harm, no foul. Like that. All right. Will heavy body acrylic paint work well on black canvas paper? Yes. Regular acrylic paint on black canvas muddies the colors. I use nothing but heavy body. And yes, it will work. Yeah, it'll work perfectly fine for you. Let's get a little bit of yellow. I'm going to my script liner here. A little yellow. A little touch of white. And some water. No glycerin for this part. Use water. Alright. Save you a lot of headache and a lot of heartache. Twirl your brush when you get more color. Forgive me if I'm not really talking a lot here. One is I'm overcoming the cold. Excuse me. We're in June and I have a cold. And it just adds to the life of Anthony. The glare is beating me half to death here. And that's the downside of glycerin, I guess. It is a glare. No matter how much or how little, you can always have that little bit of a glare. It really wouldn't bother me much if I wasn't instructing or, you know. But I think I'm just a little more picky because I'm sick. I did I think many of you know, close friend lost a sister, and I did a series of paintings for the family, and the matriarch misplaced her painting, and she cannot find it, so I'm pretty sure somebody took it. So I'm contemplating whether to do another one or not. You still have this right here. All right. As I'm looking at this, believe it or not, I think we're pretty much done. What I like about this is oh, for those of you who are wondering what this is, it's nothing but a pie tray. That's all. It is a pie tray. What I like about this painting is pretty much all the colors are related. The only color that's not related is obviously the green is opposite, but other than that, the purples, I'm gonna have to do this backwards. Wow. Oh well. I'm gonna have to sign it backwards. People won't think it's me, but it is me. It is the 1st, so 6/22. But I did sign my name backwards. I kind of had to. All right. We can get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to expand, well, show you what it looks like regular size. There, that's what it looks like regular size. All right. I probably can pull it back a little bit. That should be good enough. Oh, hit the focus on it there. And now we'll peel this off. Like I said, I use masking tape, or scotch tape, excuse me. I use scotch tape because it leaves a sharp border, really crisp border. It's hard for the glycerin to pop through this. So it's a very, very crisp border on this. For some reason, glycerin does not penetrate this type of tape. As you can see, it's a very sharp edge on it. And I personally prefer a sharp edge. I don't remember if I put tape on the back of this paper. I guess I'll find out in the next couple of seconds. If it falls flat, then I know I didn't. I just don't remember. I guess I did. Now, unfortunately, like I say, you guys see the glare on that side, but you know, it's pretty much done. Now, even though I've painted the roses on the bottom, the Chippendales first, all right, but they're darker, so they're still back there a little bit. So it appears that this brighter, bigger one is up front more. All right, we got some interesting things happening in there with the background. Okay. And then, you know, we got these guys. They're not nowhere near budded. Okay, they're all closed. And this one here is kind of blossoming out there. Okay. I think really not much more to say with it. No problem, Kelly. Yeah, not much more to say about it, other than it's finished. And you guys know the deal, as usual. I'll take a photo of it. It'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Instagram. I've already titled it. I think I call it Red Rum. So, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm contemplating whether I should do the mother's painting over it again. She wants something different, though. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to charge her, and hers was the biggest one. So, and I believe I still got canvas like that size. Yes, I do. So she likes the one I did. One of the daughters there, with the the angel wings and the staircase in the clouds. So we'll see. Hey, Judy Webster, how are you? Good to see you. You came just in time for the ending. I'm about to close it down here. So, but you get to see the finished result. All right. And basically, what this is just me. Actually, I'm gonna show you what I am going to do. Since I have I can do that for you guys. Since I have extra paint here, I'm gonna take what I have left, and I'm gonna mix it and mash it. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'll mix and mash it for the next paint. Like I said, this is double-sided watercolor paper. I just glue 2 pieces of watercolor paper together. All right, and it stays relatively flat when it's all said and done. All right, so let me put this over here by my easel. I got 2 easels here. One I take pictures with, I can put it at the right height. It's got the correct lighting. Okay, let's get the next victim ready. I'm thinking of the orientation. I guess I'll put it horizontal today. Now, just because I do it right now, because I prepare it, I'll prepare it now, but I won't necessarily like start on it the next day or anything. And I'll use the regular Scotch tape for this one. Okay. Usually I'll eyeball what I think is a 1/2 inch border, and I'll do it that way. And usually I'll fold the edge of the tape so it's easier to peel off when I'm done with the painting. So you guys get to see what I do usually for the next painting. But then again, it all depends. Who knows when I'll use this next? I'll put it on here, I'll prepare it, I'll do the background and wait for it to dry, and whatever idea comes to mind, then I'll do it with that. Depending on what it looks like, it may be another floral, it may be a landscape, who knows what I'll do with it. What I will tell you is that I'm gonna use up this extra paint, so I don't throw it out because it's just a waste. And paint's a little expensive, you know. Okay. All right. So let's see what I'm gonna do. It's 10 to midnight, watching the Rolling Girls. So you must be in Europe. You're in England somewhere. Okay. I'm just curious. If you're 5 hours away, you got to be overseas somewhere. I'm looking. Here, I'll do it this way. Let's coat this with some water. Let me put this, I usually have this towel on my lap, so paint and water don't get on my clothes. Let's coat this with some water. The water's a little bit stained, but that's all right. Let it be stained. It's okay. This is watercolor paper. It's pretty much what it's used for. Now, as you see me wet this stuff, you'll see the watercolor paper start to bow a little bit. It's 300 weight, so it's going to take plenty of water to get it to do all of that. But all right, you get the water on there. I got white, I got black. It's going to turn some kind of freaky gray, like this. I'll just kind of put it in there like this. It doesn't matter. I got yellow, orange. It's going to be a mess, just like this. Now, with the yellow and the orange, or the yellow and the black, it's going to turn kind of greenish. All right, so I got the white in there. It's all right. Let's dip some more water in it this time. Last time I didn't use that much water. Today I'll use the water. I'll kind of pop it in there like this. Something like that. How's that for a weird background? Who knows what I'm going to do with it. All right, it's still relatively pretty wet. I'm going to take advantage of that if I can, if I work fast enough. Actually, well, I'll do it a little bit later. Let's take some rubbing alcohol. Let's see what happens. This is rubbing alcohol, and I'll just kind of spray it down there. I don't think nothing's going to happen with it because it's not dark enough. But I do have some extra black. But we'll let this But you'll see what's happening to it. Just keep looking. You'll see the rings. All right, you see what's going on with it there. Okay. So while it's going through that, I do have some extra black. Oh, let's kind of put the black up in here like this. And we'll put some black up top here. And go in that direction. Like I say, who knows what I'll do with this thing. I'll fade that out. Just kind of fade that right in there. I'll fade that. Lightly fade that, so I'll fade that transition in like that. Yeah, we'll keep it like that for a second or two. Put some rubbing alcohol on it. Let it act out a little bit. I still got a little bit of white left, so take a brush, take a little bit of water. We'll just kind of play around with it a little bit. Pop it in there. With what's left of the white anyway. And I'll just leave it like that. Believe it or not, that mess will dry. And I'll see what I'll do with it next. Yep, I thought so, Julie. I thought so. I thought you were from jolly old England somewhere. The United Kingdom, rather. Okay. Now, it's midnight there for you guys. 7 o'clock here, 7 p.m. here. All right. Now, this, the masking tape doesn't really block the water per se, not well. Okay, it just doesn't. It still keeps a pretty decent edge, but some of that love kind of seeps through there. I'm gonna have to let this sit, not necessarily overnight, depending on how warm the room is, and it's like 82 degrees in here. So it will it'll take a little time for it to dry up, especially with rubbing alcohol, for it to evaporate correctly. All right, but once she's all said and done, it'll most likely be another floral, just because of the yellowish, greenish, black green type of background there. But who knows, maybe I'll put wisteria in there, or who knows what I'll do with it. Don't know, but we'll see. Okay, I got a few other projects I do have to take care of and do, so it might be some time before I get to this one. All depends. So, all right, I think I'm done blabbing and all of that good stuff. You guys take it easy, take care, be safe. I'll see you when I see you. And until next time.